Yes, we are back after the break. Welcome back again. Dear members of the committee, we have completed the examination of all individual files under items 8A, 8B, 8C, and 8D. So we are ready to go back to the general debate concerning the report of the evaluation body under item 8. Committee members, the floor is yours for the general debate. Yeah, Czechia. Over to you, Czechia.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The Czech delegation would like to thank the evaluation body once more very cordially for the work it has done despite the increased number of files, and also for its succinct presentation, which definitely made us work easier. We would also like to sincerely congratulate all state parties whose elements have been inscribed this week, and encourage those countries whose files were referred. We are looking forward to seeing them approved in one of the following cycles. We are happy to see that the quality of files keeps improving and that the dialogue process brings it fruits, as we have seen this year. We firmly believe that this will hold true also in the future, particularly with regard to the African countries. We share the regrets of our African colleagues that were expressed a couple of days ago. And we also find the proportion of the referred files quite alarming, and I hope that together we will manage to improve the situation in the future. Czechia is always prepared through its experts to give a helping hand and provide pre-submission consultations to other states who may feel such need and ask for such consultations. Finally, a few remarks on our work over the past 3 days. Thank you very much to all committee members for using the new working method, informal consultations and circulation of draft amendments in advance. We think this novelty worked very well. Opinions were exchanged beforehand, texts were perfected, thanks to joint efforts across different regional groups, and the decision-making went very smoothly. We are well ahead of time, and this had not always been the case, as we know. Thank you very much, dear committee members, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for working in such a strong spirit of mutual respect and cooperation.
Thank you very much, Czechia. And now over to Brazil. The floor is over to you, Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dear Chairman, dear committee members, we congratulate all the state parties and bearers with inscriptions approved in this committee session. We also thank the hard work of the Secretariat and of the evaluation body. We have asked the floor for a brief general comment on the theme of ICH threatened by environmental issues. We must first of all once more commend the excellence of the evaluation body work. In the EB report for this cycle, amongst the other thematic questions, it has been pointed out that states parties should take note of how safeguarding measures or plans may account for the protection of the environment and for the sustainability of natural resources associated with the element. Many of the safeguarding measures regarding environmental issues are focused on barriers capacity building, aiming at the sustainable management of natural resources, or in promoting awareness raising towards ICH. However, in some nomination files presented, especially for the urgent safeguarding list, ICH practices are threatened by lack of access to raw materials or environmentally protected areas. Bearing that in mind, we understand that one should ask if the above-mentioned measures would be effective enough to address these kind of risks. Actually, matters related to environmental protection regulations that affect ICH demand a collaborative building of consensual solutions involving environmental competent bodies, which might even demand reviews on national and local laws, as well as the establishment of some kind of local social agreements on the general use of certain areas or natural resources by various groups. Taking that into consideration, we understand that in situations regarding environmental threats to ICH, it would be desirable that a clear commitment of state parties involving competent bodies other than cultural and heritage ones should be presented in the nomination files. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. We congratulate you for the conduction of the debates. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Basil. And as I don't see any other request, therefore, we have completed our general debate regarding the report of the evaluation body. Please refer to document 8 and its draft decision in paragraph 78. So, dear members of the committee, yes. Yes. I believe that one amendment has been submitted to the Secretariat concerning the paragraph 11. That is from Kuwait. Therefore, I would like to open the floor to Kuwait. Please, Kuwait, over to you now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, good afternoon for all our colleagues. Mr. Chair, can we have the amendment on the screen so people can understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, yes. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So the rationale, Mr. Chair, is after listening to the initial debates and what's been discussing for the last couple of years, and I think what's also the evaluation body facing, we see this is a fact that we need more dialogue regarding the finding a dynamic solution for the backlog. The backlog, it's a fact. How to come with it. We need to further encourage the dialogue. And we know it's a dynamic. The reason dynamic because it's year after year it will change. So this is was to bring the attention of our colleagues. That's the rationale of adding this draft amendment. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. And I can see Switzerland, right? Yes. Over to you, Switzerland, please. The floor is yours now.
Monsieur le Président, chers collègues, chers participants, comme c'est la première fois que je prends la parole après l'adoption de toutes ces magnifiques manifestations qui ont été ajoutées à la liste du patrimoine immatériel, j'aimerais tout d'abord féliciter tous les pays et toutes les communautés qui se sont engagés pour maintenir vivantes ces magnifiques traditions. Et j'aimerais aussi dire que je trouve que c'est un signe de joie et d'optimisme pour l'avenir de notre planète commune lorsqu'on voit tous les défis auxquels nous sommes confrontés. Maintenant, j'aimerais en venir à l'amendement présenté par son Excellence l'ambassadeur du Koweït.
Attention, please. I think we can go to this when we discuss with paragraph 11. Please wait till it comes from paragraph 11. Then you can explain everything. Definitely, I will give the floor to you all. Okay, right. Next. Yep. Yeah, and we are going to do with paragraph by paragraph. And then, during that, you can explain with that. Yes. Is that okay with you all? Yes, yes, yes. So we'll proceed in that manner. Jamaica and Switzerland, they wanted that. Is that is okay? When the paragraph 11 comes, you can come forward.
That is fine with us, Mr.
Yes?
Chair.
Switzerland? Switzerland?
Oui, c'est bon.
Okay.
Nous avons
Okay. Thank you.
un amendement à l'amendement du Koweït.
Thank you.
On
Thank
le
you very
fera à
much.
ce moment-là.
So we'll move forward. So may I ask the committee to adopt draft decision 16.com8 as shown on the screens. Let us proceed paragraph by paragraph. So paragraph 1, citing the documents we have examined, I believe there is no objection. Yes, no objection. Okay? Therefore, I adopt it. Adopted. Yeah, Switzerland and Jamaica, please don't raise hand. Yeah, please. When the time comes, your chance will be given. So now we go to paragraph 2, recalling the operational directives. Do I see any objections? No. Therefore, I adopt it. Adopted. Now go to paragraph 3. Appreciating the measures taken by the evaluation body and the Secretariat to adapt their working methodology to the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. I trust we can all agree. Yes, therefore I adopt it. Adopted. Now go to paragraph 4. Expressing satisfaction with the evaluation body's efforts to treat a higher number of files for this year and acknowledging the challenges in evaluating the increasing number of files. Any objection? No objections. Therefore, I adopt it. Adopted. Go to paragraph 5 now. Noting the observations and recommendations made by the evaluation body concerning its work for the 21 cycle. Any objection? Yes. Saudi Arabia. So over to you, the floor, please.
Hello, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes,
you hear me,
yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
please.
good. Actually, you're going very quick, Mr. Chair. Actually, my note is on number 4, not on number 5.
Paragraph 4.
And yes, and I just have a kind of confusion with the language here. The second part says acknowledges that increasing the number of files to be evaluated beyond this number of 60 may not guarantee the same quality of evaluation. On what basis did we say this? I mean, is there a report that says that, an assessment that says above 60 it will be bad quality or less quality? I just need to understand more from the Secretariat if they can explain to us.
I think, to my understanding, it is in the evaluation body, report of the evaluation body. Yes? Yes? Yeah? Yeah, I will give the floor to Mr. Curtis. He will explain.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the Honourable Delegate of Saudi Arabia. Indeed, it is in the report of the evaluation body, and perhaps the Chair might give the floor to because it is in their report that this is said. Thank you.
Now I invite Mr. Otone, to Luba Vlaska. Over to you, Luba.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, it's based on the experience of the evaluation body with evaluating this 60 nomination. Actually, it was 62 because of the joint nomination process. And we think that according to the current procedure, how it is now, how the files are evaluated, it's not possible to make more, because we would like to treat the files in a fair way and dedicate enough time to reading all the submitting documents. So it's necessary think about that. That's why we are looking forward to the results of the open-ended group on the listing mechanism, and maybe we can find a solution to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Chairperson Evaluation Body, is there anything, Saudi Arabia? Yeah? No? That's okay? Are you happy? Okay, thank you. Then I will invite Kuwait. Kuwait is waiting now. Over to you, Kuwait.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I would like to thank, the evaluation body for their rationale behind this. And I understand, our colleague from Saudi Arabia is, based on what, how come up, based on which indicator, there's numbers. So I suggest, since we have still ongoing this reflection group on the, the nomination evaluation, is, before we, have, judgment and to come with the conclusion that any file comes beyond 60, the system will have less quality. This is a very sensitive issue. Maybe we'll go beyond 60 for some reason, and we don't want to prejudge things. So I suggest we delete the word, the word that's not guaranteed the same quality. Just to stop after, after cycle, and delete the rest of the paragraph. Just to take the concept of Saudi Arabia, and also the reflection of the evaluation body when they said, we're waiting for the solution for the reflection. We've waited all this time. Let's wait one more year before we have this, this statement or this conclusion. I think one more year will not harm. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Kuwait, and thank you very much, both Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. Now I would like to invite Botswana. Over to you. The floor is over to you, Botswana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I thought perhaps maybe we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and suggest that perhaps we can say that increasing the number of files to be evaluated beyond this number of 60 needs further reflection.
Yes, I think now, Botswana.
Did you get me, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, we hear you.
I said instead of throwing it all out.
Can you please repeat?
I was saying that we should say that acknowledges, or forget the word acknowledges, that increasing the number of files to be evaluated beyond this number of 60 needs further reflection. And I think that would even accommodate Kuwait's amendment as well.
Yeah, they will do it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite Brazil, and followed by Switzerland.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, just a quick comment on that. We all know that we have been discussing the listing mechanism around the working group. And I remember that one of the conclusions to which we have reached is that effectively, with all the members of the evaluation body having to examine all the files, really we have to recognize that more than 60 would be very difficult. So I remember also that we were examining all the solutions. I remember that some of member states had proposed that only half of the evaluation body could do a whole examination and then share the information with the other members of the evaluation body and so on. So my point is, I consider that maybe it would be important also to stimulate the reflection process to state that with this system, really more than 60 the quality of the work would be damaged. So not to avoid finding other solutions, which we are discussing in the working group, but to express the present situation. And I understand that this is the spirit of the original proposal, the original text. Of course, Brazil will follow the consensus on that paragraph, but this is our position would be to keep the original text. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Comments are well noted. And now I would like to invite Switzerland. Over to you, Switzerland.
Merci, je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président. J'aimerais dire que nous comprenons tout à fait les motivations du Koweït en voulant supprimer ce paragraphe, mais néanmoins, nous pensons que, comme dans ce paragraphe, nous traitons du travail de l'organe d'évaluation, je pense qu'il est aussi juste que nous prenions vraiment en compte leurs préoccupations. Maintenant, j'aurais peut-être une proposition de langage qui permet de conserver le texte tout en prenant en compte la préoccupation exprimée par le Koweït. Et ça serait la suivante. Donc, nous conservons le texte, mais nous ajoutons après convient que, virgule, avec la méthode actuelle, virgule. Et ensuite, le texte continue, ce qui donc implique qu'avec le travail du groupe de travail intergouvernemental et une méthode de travail qui évoluerait, les choses pourraient éventuellement être différentes s'il en est décidé ainsi. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Switzerland. And now I would like to invite Djibouti. Over to you, Djibouti.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, nous avions une formulation qui a été présentée par le Koweït, puis nous avons une formulation qui a été présentée par le Botswana. L'un tire vers enlever le paragraphe, l'autre tire vers positiver le paragraphe et non pas le rendre négatif. Je pense que, Monsieur le Président, nous sommes enclins à soutenir la proposition présentée par le Botswana, d'autant plus, Monsieur le Président, que des discussions intergouvernementales sont encore en cours et c'est le point qui n'est pas encore définitif et qui n'a pas encore été tranché. Et le président du Open-Ended Working Group est ici avec nous, c'est l'ambassadeur du Japon, ne peut pas fermer. Je pense que pour que l'on soit consistant avec nous-mêmes, chers amis, je crois que la proposition proposée par le Botswana nous semble acceptable par tout le monde. Nous ne remettons pas en cause ce qui a été dit par le comité d'évaluation, l'organe d'évaluation. Nous ne remettons pas en cause la discussion qui continue entre les États membres. Je crois, Monsieur le Président, un peu de flexibilité de part et d'autre nous semble que la proposition du Botswana est la plus à même de donner satisfaction à tout un chacun. Je vous remercie.
Okay, thank you, Jamaica, Djibouti, and now I would like to open the floor to Jamaica. Jamaica?
Sorry, not hearing.
Yeah.
Has Jamaica been recognized, Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. Jamaica fully appreciates the position and the concerns expressed by Kuwait and understands the frustration of states parties submitting and not being able to have their files examined in any particular cycle. At the same time, the proposal put forward by Botswana for an amendment, I think does, in a large measure, take into consideration the concerns of Kuwait, and therefore we support the position put forward by Botswana. and would like our name to be added to that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Jamaica. Now I would like to invite Czechia. Over to you, Czechia. The floor is yours now.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Nous aussi, comme nos collègues précédentes, nous comprenons les préoccupations exprimées par le Koweït. Néanmoins, il nous paraît que cette proposition de décision reflète le travail et les préoccupations de l'organe d'évaluation sur le cycle actuel des candidatures. Donc, on aimerait garder le texte original tel qu'il a été amendé par la Suisse. Bien sûr, nous sommes pour le consensus, donc si plus de pays s'expriment pour l'amendement proposé aimablement par Botswana, nous allons nous aligner. Merci.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to open the floor to Japan. Over to you, Japan. Japan?
Thank you. I couldn't hear what you said. Thank you very much. So all I wanted to say is very simple. Perhaps we should have more discussions on this topic. We know what Ambassador Kuwait is talking about, and we know what the other ambassadors are talking about. So we need more time for discussions. So in terms of language here, perhaps we have to choose a formulation which would suggest that we should discuss more. So in this particular case, the one from Botswana is perhaps the best formulation here. And this same spirit should be applicable to the amendment from the Ambassador of Kuwait on paragraph 11. So we should keep the spirit of discussions in the future process. And perhaps we can refer to the existence of some concerns, but nonetheless, we should not come up with any particular conclusion or the orientation of conclusion in this committee. So for that reason, I support what Botswana suggested. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Japan. Well noted. Thank you very much. And now I want to invite Kuwait again. Over to you, Kuwait.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I will not take long, and I try, Kuwait always with the consensus, and I'm trying to find a solution. I think, I'll go with Botswana's, amendment to reflect mine, but also I want to add a point where it can reflect the Switzerland, where it says if you can add number of files to be evaluated using the current method at Botswana, after evaluated using the current method, beyond the number of 60 needs further reflection. So this way, I hope I can cover what's the Switzerland's concern, and I can withdraw my initial amendment. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Kuwait. Thank you. And now I would like to invite Sri Lanka. Over to you, Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Now it looks to me after the second intervention of Kuwait that the amendment looks much better now with Botswana, Djibouti, Jamaica, and Japan, especially in a context that the open-ended consultations are still going on. Therefore, we definitely need more time, as Japan mentioned. So Sri Lanka agrees with the current the amended version with Botswana, Djibouti, Jamaica, and Japan, and later Kuwait. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sri Lanka. Now, next, I would like to invite again Saudi Arabia. Over to you. The floor is yours now.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to be quick. I would like to also co-sponsor the Botswana's amendment as amended by Kuwait to join the consensus.
Thank you very much, Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite Switzerland. Switzerland, floor is yours.
Monsieur le Président, oui, j'aimerais vous dire que dans un esprit tout à fait de consensus, nous pouvons aussi tout à fait accepter l'amendement du Botswana tel que modifié par le Koweït. Je vous remercie.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like to give the floor to Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, followed by China and Cote d'Ivoire. Over to you, Azerbaijan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving Azerbaijan the floor. Would like also to echo what has been said by our colleagues and support Botswana's proposal amended by Kuwait.
Okay, yes. And now I would like to invite China.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Since that we are considering that the global reflecting on the listing mechanism is still ongoing, we would like to follow the join the previous committee members to follow the amendments made by Botswana and also with the Kuwait's amendment. However, furthermore, we would like to also to suggest that maybe we could just delete the specific number of the nomination files in this paragraph, since the number of the files to be evaluated still needs to be further reflected. So that is our furthermore amendment to this paragraph.
Thank you very much, China. Well noted. Thank you very much. And now, Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, Cote d'Ivoire. Floor is yours now.
Oui, merci, Monsieur le Président. Nous voulons coparrainer aussi la proposition du Botswana. L'organe d'évaluation qui a l'expérience donc de ces dossiers-là l'a proposé. Et donc, nous nous associons au coparrainage donc de la proposition du Botswana, effectivement, parce que les discussions sont encore en cours par le groupe de travail intergouvernemental à commission non limitée. Mais nous voulons peut-être ajouter quelque chose en utilisant la méthode actuelle, au-delà de ce nombre de 60 dossiers, nécessite une réflexion approfondie et devra tenir compte des conclusions de la réflexion du groupe de travail intergouvernemental en cours. Voilà le bout de phrase que nous voulons ajouter.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like to give the floor to Brazil. Brazil.
Est-ce que vous m'entendez, Monsieur le Président?
Yes, 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 we will give you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to add, Brazil as co-sponsor of the proposal of Botswana as amended by Kuwait. And well, also having heard the proposal of the Ivory Coast, I also think that a mention to the working group should be included in the final text. Thank you. So we agree with this.
Okay, thank you. And the floor is now to Cameroon. Over to you, Cameroon.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, de me donner la parole. Le Cameroun souhaite également soutenir l'amendement proposé par le Botswana et amélioré par le Koweït et la Côte d'Ivoire, Monsieur le Président. Nous pensons que il est important de s'associer au consensus pour donner des chances de trouver une solution efficace telle que l'organe d'évaluation recherche. Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
Yes. Thank you, Cameroon. On the screen, you can see the amendments, and also your comments are well noted. Yeah, I think everybody seems to support Botswana, and therefore, yes, I think Japan wants to speak. Over to you, Japan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to be clear about one thing. This is about the suggestion from China, deleting the number of 60 there. Well, you know, I don't stick to this, but my impression is to make our issue very clear. It's probably preferable have this number, because what we're talking about is the increase of the files or perhaps the maintenance of the number. But we should be able to know what is the number that we are talking about. So I think it's preferable to keep it there, but depending on the consensus, we can be flexible. Thank you.
Yes, I would like to request from China. China, are you okay for this? Over to you, China.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for giving me the floor again. Actually, the rationale behind our proposal is that still the Intergovernmental Committee, the working group of the Intergovernmental Committee still going on with the reflection process, and the number of the files to be evaluated hasn't yet been discussed and finalized. It has a, we do not know what is the exact or the set number which is appropriate for the evaluative body to work out or not. So that is why, that is the rationale behind our proposal. But in the spirit of the consensus, we could go with the general consensus of the committee. So we will remain flexible on this point.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. And yes. Yeah, we have a consensus. Yeah, I think again Kuwait wants to speak. Please, over to you, Kuwait.
I was going to take the floor before, but I saw that the flexibility of China, and we appreciate it. I agree with our colleagues from Japan. We need to have a number so we make that the paragraph. I was going to suggest, when our addition, using the current method and number. But I am glad that China can go with the consensus. So I'll stop here. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I think now we have come to a consensus for the amendment for the Botswana, and supported by Djibouti, Jamaica, Japan, Sri Lanka, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, Azerbaijan, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon. Yes. Yeah, all these countries supported. Okay? And therefore, paragraph 5, paragraph 4, as amended. So thank you very much, and I would like to adopt 4. Yes. Now let me move towards paragraph 5 now, please. Noting the observations and recommendations made by the evaluation body concerning its work for the 21 cycle. Any comments? No, yes. So no objections, so therefore I would like to adopt it. Adopted 5. And now move on to 6, paragraph 6, relating to this year's experience with the dialogue process. Are there any objections? Yeah, I see no objections for paragraph 6. Therefore, I adopted. Now go to paragraph 7. On the use of the combined mechanism in this year's cycle. I do not see, do I see? Yes, Saudi Arabia. Please, over to you, Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I mean, they always say, be careful what you wish for. So I think you're going to be hearing a lot of my voice this time. We have an amendment that has been sent, number 7, a new number 7, not this one, we have no problem with this one, but we'd like to add a paragraph after number 6. So if we can see it on the screen, it will be great. And if you want to move to number 7 and then add this one, we're still okay. But we think this is the best place to put it after 6.
Okay, give us some time for that. Now we'll move on to paragraph 7 and we'll come back to that. So now paragraph 7 on the use of combined mechanisms in this year's cycle. And we will come back to paragraph 6. Yeah? Because we just received it, so we need some time. Excuse, yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, then can I adopt 7, paragraph 7? Okay, thank you very much, and I adopt 7. Thank you. I think we are putting it up now. Yes. We are ready now. Secretariat are ready. They are very busy. Yeah. To serve all of us, all over the world. Yeah. Yes? You want to say something?
Yeah, thank you, Excellency. Thank you very much. It should be actually before number 7.
Okay. Yes.
It will be a new para 7 indeed.
After 6, yes, after 6. Yeah, I think they are on the verge of typing. Well noted, well respected, no problem. Don't worry about the silence, they are typing now. Yes, we are here, don't worry. Oh, I think, yes. Now we can, yeah. reflection on preliminary assessment procedures, Saudi Arabia. Yes, now it has come. 7. That's correct, no? Yeah. Now 7. Preliminary assessment procedures. Yeah, I think now I want to give the floor to again Saudi Arabia. Please go ahead, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I know that my colleagues here are just reading it right now and give them some time to reflect on it. But the idea here is what we have seen so far, especially with regard to the African nominations and other countries, the great number of withdrawals that are taking place. And we really commend the Secretariat for the dialogue process. And we see the real benefit of it. We can take it further. Look at the example of the World Heritage Convention. Look at the process that's taking place with the preliminary assessment that is proving to be very useful. We can do the same in this convention, and this will reduce the number of withdrawals that are taking place right now. It will reduce the backlog. I think it will have a great impact on the evaluation process and to proper nominations of files. So it's open for everyone for discussion and hopefully endorsement.
Thank you very much. Yeah, anybody else? Oh, yes, I see China. See, over to you, China. The floor is over to you, China.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. As we are reviewing the proposal by the delegation of Saudi Arabia, we have 2 comments on that. First of all, since we are reviewing the working report of the evaluation body under this item, so we are wondering whether it is appropriate here to commend the Secretariat in this paragraph. And second question is regarding to the further harmonization with the 72 Convention. We do not really understand how this harmonization will be achieved, since the 2 conventions are completely under 2 completely different mechanisms, and the tangible and intangible heritage, they have their own system of and features, they're totally different. So we are wondering how this harmonization could be achieved. So this is our questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, China, about that. And then I would like to give the floor to Japan. Over to you, Japan.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think my questions I think related to what China said earlier. First of all, we do have upstream process in this intangible, but it's the intention of Saudi Arabia to say that current upstream process is not enough, and therefore we should import some elements from the World Heritage system of preliminary assessment. Is it, do you believe that what we introduced is not enough? Because in a way, as a result of the 2 years of experience of upstream dialogue, we have very good achievements. In fact, 15 items under this scheme, out of the 15, 14 were recommended for inscription this time. So I think, in a way, taking more advantage of the upstream dialogue process can actually improve the situation. But so from that perspective, I just wanted to ask Saudi Arabia if Ambassador Haifa, if you believe that the current upstream process is not good enough. And another point that I wanted to make is very much the same with China. I'm a bit hesitant to refer to the World Heritage World Heritage Convention. Taking into account could be a possibility, but because as China said, World Heritage Convention, the Intangible Heritage Convention, very different in many ways. So perhaps trying to link this to World Heritage Convention may not be so appropriate. That's the way I see it. But thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to hear from Saudi Arabia their intentions for this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Japan. Thank you very much. And now I move to Czechia. Over to you. The floor is over to you, Czechia.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Il me semble que je ne suis pas assez rapide parce que tout ce que je vais dire il a déjà été dit de façon bien meilleure que le mien par mes collègues. Nous voudrions remercier notre distingué collègue de l'Arabie saoudite, mais nous avons aussi quelques questions car il nous semble que le dialogue est utilisé pas tellement pour améliorer la qualité des dossiers, mais plutôt d'expliquer par façon assez simple, de clarifier des informations qui sont déjà contenues. Et en ce qui concerne l'évaluation préliminaire utilisée dans la Convention de 1972, si je ne me trompe pas, c'est un nouveau processus qui n'a pas encore été vraiment instauré pour les candidatures du patrimoine sur la liste du patrimoine mondial. Donc, peut-être je ne sais pas trop qu'est-ce qu'on veut dire par évaluation préliminaire. Mais ce que je sais, c'est qu'un système va être instauré et être utilisé à partir de l'année prochaine sur la base expérimentale, mais qui n'est pas encore maintenant en place. Et je ne comprends pas comment on pourrait aligner ce système du patrimoine mondial sur les travaux de notre convention. J'espère que je suis assez claire. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Czechia. Now I would like to invite Sri Lanka. The floor is over to you, Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's very correct that China to say that these are two very different systems that we have been using, which is again further approved by Japan. The preliminary assessment system used for the 1972 World Heritage Convention is to use a totally separate organism, which is ICOMOS, to go to that country and look at the elements, the nominated sites. So the ICOMOS makes recommendation to the UNESCO, which will be again, discussed at the World Heritage Committee. But our system in the ICH convention is that we have our own organ, which is the evaluation body, which is appointed by the Intergovernmental Committee. Therefore, I think I do not know how we can combine the two systems together. I think our upstream process is not very old. We just started 2 years ago. I think my suggestion is that we better go along with our upstream process, and also the open-ended experts committee also is working on that. I think we would rather like to propose that we'll stick to our system and try to strengthen it if there are weaknesses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sri Lanka. Thank you. And then I would like to give the floor to Kuwait. Over to you, Kuwait.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, let me try to clarify to our colleagues, just because we had experience in both conventions. The upstream and the dialogue, it's a process at the end of the evaluation. Once you go through everything, the preliminary assessment, it's a mechanism where it's a short evaluation to give the member state the roadmap if they want to continue in their dossier or not. So what's the objective, and please, let's not have a stamp saying it's the 1972. No, it's a process where your files can be evaluated in a short, quick way if it's worthy to continue. That's their preliminary assessment. So member states don't stick with the files for 2 or for 6 years, and they end up with a rejection. So that was the rationale behind the preliminary assessment. Second, we know again, this convention is part of other culture convention, and we had a general discussion in the Culture Commission in the General Assembly, and there was talking about the harmonization between conventions. The rationale of harmonization is something that's working in one place can be implemented in the other convention. That's the rationale of harmonization. Doesn't mean to be everything, but this is the so that I agree with the Saudi Arabia. But my only point, let's have a dialogue about this concept first. I'm always let's have a dialogue about the potential of having really assessment in the 2003. And will it, how is the modality? So we, instead of initiation, let's have a dialogue. Then we'll see how we can continue. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Kuwait. And next, the floor is to Brazil. Over to you, Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, first of all, to thank the delegation, the ambassador of Saudi Arabia for raising this point. This is a very important point. We all know that some countries have problems in the preparation of their dossiers, of their candidatures. So something has really to be done concerning this point. Well, I also understand the concern expressed by some committee members regarding mentioning the World Heritage Convention. So, well, maybe we could find another text. I have a suggestion here. If we could, after encourages it, we could add to be supported and encourages it to be supported by capacity building programs, a specific upstreaming process, and preliminary assessment procedures, without mentioning the World Heritage Convention, but raising the question, raising the subject, which is a very important subject to be raised and discussed.
Yeah, dear Milton, Mr. Milton, can you repeat that sentence, please?
Yes, if we continue after encourages it in the middle of the paragraph, encourages it to be supported by capacity building programs, specific upstreaming process, and preliminary assessment procedures. Thank you.
Yeah, Brazil, can you kindly repeat that final state? Is it okay now?
And encourages it, yes, to be so exactly like that. Yeah, capacity building programs, more than plural. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brazil. And now, I would like to give the floor to Saudi Arabia. Please, over to you, Saudi Arabia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And I would really like to thank our colleagues here for the very valid points that they are raising. I will start by the comments of China. And I think I agree with China. The document can actually maybe commend the progress made through the dialogue process. And I mean, we would like to thank the Secretariat for that. But again, I mean, if it is not the right place to commend the Secretariat, then by all means, we can delete it. We can say commend the progress made through the dialogue process, which is just right in the beginning. That's number one. Number two, just reflecting on the questions. And I'm okay with deleting the World Heritage Convention if it's very sensitive. But the idea is that there is a reflection. I mean, there should be a reflection process going on. And this is a good harmonization. This is actually something towards a positive result. But having said that, it is not the end of the world if we delete the World Heritage Convention. The idea is to benefit from what is happening in the World Heritage Convention. Number three, I look at things with simple numbers. So yes, there is an upstream process. It is different from the preliminary assessment, as our colleague from Kuwait has clearly explained. But again, we look at things. So there is a huge backlog. Countries go through the evaluation and it stays in the backlog for God knows how long. And then it gets evaluated and accepted or rejected, etc., etc. So it's a waste of time, resources, financial resources, and efforts. And we think the preliminary assessment will help a lot. It's not that the upstream process is not enough. It's great. We can add more because we have facts on the ground that show us that there is a gap between what is being submitted and what is being evaluated and inscribed as a result. It will make everyone's lives easy. It's a quick assessment and it can solve the problem of the huge backlog, actually, at least part of it. So this is the explanation here. I hope it makes things clear, and please delete the word the secretariat for the. So make it comment the progress so that it can be more in line with the report of the evaluation, although we thank the secretary.
Yeah, I think, can the evaluation body comment on this, please? Yeah. Yeah, I think I would like to give the floor to Mr. Curtis, or to you, Mr. Curtis, just to explain the entire process.
Thank you. Just one thing, perhaps it might be appropriate to commend the evaluation body on the progress made through the dialogue process, since this is the decision addressed to the evaluation body. Just a suggestion. Thank you.
Okay, now I would like to give the floor to Cameron. Cameron. Over to you, Cameron.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, de me donner la parole. Je voudrais d'abord remercier l'Arabie Saoudite pour cette proposition qui soulève un certain nombre de questions fort pertinentes, notamment le deuxième volet pour ce qui concerne la synergie ou le rapprochement entre la 72 et la 2003. Nous comprenons également que les deux conventions, effectivement, n'ont pas les mêmes objets, mais en même temps, nous comprenons qu'il peut y avoir nécessité de s'inspirer, bien évidemment, ne serait-ce qu'en termes de procédures, des pratiques ou des mécanismes qui sont efficaces et pour pouvoir les intégrer au niveau de la 2003. Et à ce propos, le Cameroun souhaite vraiment suivre ce que dit le secrétariat avec votre permission, Monsieur le Président, sur ce volet-là, parce qu'en suivant effectivement les travaux de l'Assemblée générale 72, ce problème de synergie s'est également posé. Et sous toute réserve, je pense que le secrétariat avait également pris la parole. Le Cameroun souhaiterait avoir d'amples explications sur cette question-là, qui peut, les finalités sont nobles, à savoir de limiter le temps d'attente de certains dossiers par rapport au fait que peut-être que le process de dialogue en amont peut-être n'atteint pas nécessairement les objectifs. Et nous voulons aussi soutenir l'idée de renforcement de capacités. Ce dialogue préliminaire ou en amont est un moment fort important qui doit permettre de soutenir les capacités pour les pays, de sorte qu'à l'avenir, que les demandes ne souffrent pas d'attente. Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now I would like to give the floor to Djibouti. Over to you, Djibouti.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, nous avançons tous vers le même but. Cette convention qui nous est très chère. Je voudrais à cet égard, Monsieur le Président, remercier la représentante princesse de l'Arabie saoudite pour avoir proposé ces éléments de langage. Nous voudrions également ici soutenir la proposition faite par le Brésil qui s'inscrit dans la discussion. À cet égard, nous voulons également garder les félicitations au secrétariat pour le progrès effectué. Avec tout cela, Monsieur le Président, pour vous dire, de la discussion jaillit la lumière. C'est comme ça qu'on avance. Voilà, je pense, Monsieur le Président, que nous avons peut-être atteint l'équilibre qu'il faut dans l'amendement proposé par l'Arabie saoudite, le Brésil et celui de maintenir les félicitations au secrétariat. Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Djibouti. And now I would like to give the floor to Czechia.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, et pardon de m'exprimer une nouvelle fois, mais ça nous tracasse cette question d'harmonisation entre les conventions. Notre délégation comprend fort bien l'avantage de l'harmonisation des règlements intérieurs, mais nous ne sommes pas certaines que nous pouvons utiliser la même chose pour les méthodes de travail, surtout que dans le cas du patrimoine mondial, pour le processus en amont, maintenant j'ai compris ce que ça voulait dire, c'est tout de même une évaluation sur place des experts qui a aussi des conséquences financières et comme c'est maintenant mis dans l'amendement, nous ne comprenons pas en fait qui ferait cette élimination préliminaire, selon quel calendrier, quelles seraient les règles, la méthodologie. Nous n'avons pas instauré quelque chose de semblable au sein de cette convention. C'est pourquoi peut-être le mieux ce serait de laisser ces questions au groupe du travail qui pourrait se pencher sur les possibilités en ayant le temps de le faire et ne pas décider maintenant quelque chose qui n'est pas vraiment évident pour nous. Mais peut-être le secrétariat pourrait nous éclairer un peu plus et j'aimerais bien demander ce qu'il en pense de ces procédures d'évaluation en amont et préliminaire. Est-ce que, voilà, quel serait son avis? Merci.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now I will like to give the floor to Botswana. Botswana, over to you. And remember, we have only 1 minute for lunch break. After Botswana, we are going to stop for lunch.
Thank
but
you, Chair.
the
Thank
floor...
you, Chair. I would, sorry, can I speak?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, Chair, I won't keep us away from lunch, I promise. I support the Saudi amendment and also the Brazil further amendment or addition. However, I do have an issue with the reference to the World Heritage Convention. I think that could create some problems. Because I thought the 2003 convention came about to address the gaps left by the 72 convention. And so when we try and harmonize one to the other, it's almost creating some subservience of one to the other. And I think we should keep them separate, to be honest. That's my humble opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. definitely after lunch we are going to have this debate like this, and therefore now I know all of you all are very hungry like me. Therefore, I hope that you see this time to rest. And I look forward to continuing our discussions immediately after 2:15. We are going to have this lunch break until 2:15. So thank you very much for everybody. Have a good lunch. Have a rest.